Hello, I am Ryan.
Hello, I am Amy. Welcome to Listen to English Podcast.
Today's episode is for you, and it's all about how to start talking in English step by step. We know you're eager to start speaking, but might be feeling a bit overwhelmed with where to begin. So we're here to help you break it down into 6 simple and actionable steps that you can start using today, no matter your current level of English.
That's right. We're going to guide you through each step and provide you with clear and practical advice. It appears that one of the most common mistakes people make when learning a new language is trying to do too much at once, so we're going to keep it simple and focused.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Step number 1 might seem a bit obvious, but it's incredibly important. Listen first. Before you even think about speaking, you need to train your ear to the sounds and rhythms of the English language.
Studies show that training your ear is crucial. It's just like when you were a baby learning your first language. You listened to your parents, family, friends, music, television. You were surrounded by the language, constantly absorbing the sounds and patterns before you ever uttered a word.
That makes perfect sense. We often forget that fundamental step when learning a new language. We get so focused on trying to speak right away that we neglect the importance of listening.
Exactly. And think about all the amazing resources available to you these days. You can listen to English podcasts just like this one, find music you enjoy, or even watch familiar movies in English with subtitles.
I love that idea. Using things you already enjoy makes the learning process so much more fun and engaging. You're not forcing yourself to do something you don't like. You're simply incorporating English into activities you already do.
Absolutely. And remember, you don't have to understand every single word at first. Start with material that's easy to understand and gradually challenge yourself as you progress. Choose a podcast that discusses a topic you're interested in, or watch a movie you've already seen in your native language.
That's a great point. It's all about building confidence and momentum. What about the amount of time spent listening? Does it have to be hours and hours each day?
Not at all. Consistency is key. Even short bursts of listening each day can make a big difference.
So even just listening to an English song on your way to work or watching a short video clip during your lunch break can be beneficial.
Exactly. It all adds up. And the more you listen, the more you'll start to recognize the different sounds, intonation, and natural flow of English. You'll begin to internalize the language without even realizing it.
Okay, so we've established that listening is the foundation. Now, what's the next step?
Step 2 is to repeat what you hear. This is a technique often called shadowing, and it's a fantastic way to improve your pronunciation and fluency.
Shadowing. It sounds so cool and almost like a secret technique. What exactly does it involve?
It's actually very simple. All you do is listen to a speaker and try to speak along with them, mimicking their words, pronunciation, and intonation as closely as possible.
So it's like I'm trying to become your shadow, trying to match your pace and rhythm perfectly?
Exactly. You want to blend your voice with theirs and try to replicate their speech patterns as accurately as you can.
And this helps with pronunciation.
Absolutely. By shadowing, you're training your mouth muscles to form the sounds of English correctly. You're getting used to the way your tongue, lips, and teeth move to produce those specific sounds.
It appears that we're not just learning the words themselves, but how to deliver them in a natural and authentic way.
Precisely. That's what makes shadowing so effective. It goes beyond just vocabulary and grammar. It helps you develop a more natural and fluent speaking style.
So how can our listeners start shadowing? What kind of material should they use?
You can start with very simple phrases or sentences. Anything from a podcast, a song, or even a line from your favorite English movie. Find something that's short and easy to repeat.
For example, if someone's just starting out, they could shadow a simple phrase like, "How are you?"
Exactly. That's a great example. It's a common phrase that everyone uses, and it's short enough to be manageable for beginners. Focus on getting the pronunciation and intonation just right.
Okay, so we've covered listening and shadowing. What's the next step on our journey to speaking English?
Step 3 is to start learning simple phrases. Now that you've trained your ear and started working on your pronunciation, it's time to begin building a foundation of vocabulary and putting those listening skills and pronunciation practice into action.
It appears that we're not talking about memorizing long lists of words, right?
Right.
We're focusing on useful phrases that we can use in everyday conversations.
Precisely. We want to give you the tools to start having basic conversations. Think about the phrases you use most often in your daily life. Greetings, introductions, simple questions, things you would say in a typical interaction.
So, for example, phrases like "good morning," "thank you," "excuse me," and "how are you?"
Those are perfect examples. These are phrases that you'll use time and time again in real-life situations. Whether you're at the store ordering a coffee or simply greeting a friend, these phrases will come in handy.
It appears that the goal here is to start communicating, even if it's just a few simple words at a time.
Exactly. You don't need to have perfect grammar or a vast vocabulary to start speaking. The key is to break down those mental barriers and get comfortable with opening your mouth and using the language.
It's all about taking that first step and building from there. Once you have those basic phrases down, you can start expanding your vocabulary and gradually build more complex sentences.
Exactly. And remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Okay, step 4 is a bit unexpected. Talk to yourself.
I know it might sound strange, but talking to yourself is actually an incredibly effective way to practice your English. It might feel a little silly at first, but trust me, it really works.
I have to admit, I catch myself talking to myself sometimes when I'm trying to work through a problem or rehearse something I need to say. It's like I'm having a conversation with myself in my head.
It's a natural thing to do, and it's especially helpful when learning a new language because it allows you to practice without the pressure of an audience. You can experiment with new words and phrases, try out different sentence structures, and get comfortable with the sounds of the language without feeling self-conscious.
It appears that it's all about creating a safe space for ourselves to practice and make mistakes without judgment.
Exactly. When you're talking to yourself, there's no one there to correct you or judge your pronunciation. So you can relax, let go of your inhibitions, and just focus on expressing yourself.
So how can our listeners incorporate talking to themselves into their daily routine?
It's easier than you might think. You can talk about your day, describe what you're doing, practice introducing yourself, or even have imaginary conversations in your head.
So, for example, if I'm getting ready in the morning, I could say things like, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm putting on my clothes, I'm making breakfast.
Exactly. You're essentially narrating your life in English. This helps you get comfortable with using the language in everyday situations.
It appears that we're turning everyday tasks into opportunities to practice our English.
Absolutely. And another great way to practice talking to yourself is by standing in front of the mirror and practicing introductions or simple conversations.
So I could look in the mirror and say, hello, my name is Ryan. Nice to meet you.
Exactly. So let's move on to step number 5, which is practice with a friend. This is where the rubber meets the road. You've been working hard on your own, but now it's time to put those skills into practice in a real conversation.
This makes perfect sense. It appears that we can only learn so much from listening and repeating. We need to interact with others and use the language in a dynamic setting.
Exactly. Think about it like learning to play a musical instrument. You can practice scales and techniques on your own, but to truly master the instrument you need to play with other musicians.
That's a great analogy. So where can our listeners find a conversation partner?
Well, it could be anyone who speaks English and is willing to help you practice. It could be a friend, a family member, a colleague, or even someone you meet online.
And if they don't have anyone in their immediate circle who speaks English?
There are tons of resources online. You can find Lidwich partners through websites, apps, online communities. There's a whole world of people out there who are also learning English and looking for someone to practice with.
Technology has made it so much easier to connect with people from all over the world. It's incredible to think that you can have a conversation with someone on the other side of the globe and both learn from each other.
Absolutely. And don't worry if you're not fluent yet. The goal is to start small, focus on greetings, introductions, asking and answering simple questions.
So they could start by practicing phrases like, what's your name? Where are you from? What do you like to do in your free time?
Those are great examples. You can talk about your hobbies, your interests, your daily routine, anything that keeps the conversation flowing and helps you get comfortable speaking.
And most importantly, have fun. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to be perfect. Remember, everyone who speaks English was once a beginner.
Exactly. Embrace the mistakes, laugh them off. The more relaxed you are, the easier it will be to learn.
Okay, on to our final step. Step number 6, ask and answer questions. This step is all about keeping the conversation going and showing that you're actively engaged.
Asking questions is a crucial part of communication. It shows that you're interested in what the other person has to say and that you're actively listening.
It appears that asking questions also helps us gather information and learn more about the person we're talking to.
Absolutely. And it also helps you practice using different grammatical structures and vocabulary.
So what are some examples of easy questions that our listeners could try asking?
You could ask things like, what's your favorite food? What kind of music do you like? What do you do for work? These are all simple questions, but they can lead to interesting and engaging conversations.
And when you're answering questions, try to give clear and concise answers. You don't need to give long, complicated responses. Just focus on getting your message across.
Exactly. The most important thing is to be understood. Don't worry about using perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary. Just speak clearly and confidently.
So we've covered all 6 steps. It's amazing how much we've learned in just one episode. But remember, this is just the beginning of your English-speaking journey.
The key is to keep practicing and to never give up on your goals.
Consistency and perseverance are essential for language learning. It's like training for a marathon. You need to put in the time and effort to see results.
Absolutely. And remember to celebrate your achievements along the way every time you have a successful conversation or learn a new word. Take a moment to acknowledge your progress.
It appears that it's all about recognizing how far we've come and staying motivated to keep going.
Exactly. Learning a new language is a challenge, but it's also incredibly rewarding. So embrace the journey and enjoy the ride.
And remember, we're here to support you every step of the way.
Now, in the final part of this episode, we'll be diving into some additional resources and tools that can help you on your language learning journey.
So stay tuned for part 3, where we'll explore everything from online platforms and language exchange apps to the power of immersing yourself in English language media. We're back for the final part of our episode, all about how to start talking in English step by step.
In the first 2 parts, we've laid the groundwork for becoming a confident English speaker, from building a solid foundation through listening and shadowing to practicing those skills with a conversation partner.
We've also talked about the importance of staying motivated, embracing mistakes, and finding a learning style that works best for you.
Now, in this final part, we're going to equip you with even more tools and resources that can take your English speaking skills to the next level.
I'm really excited to delve into this because there's always something new to learn and discover when it comes to language learning.
Exactly. Technology has opened up so many possibilities, and there are tons of incredible resources available at your fingertips.
So let's start with one that's become incredibly popular in recent years: online language learning platforms.
These platforms have revolutionized the way people learn languages. They offer a vast array of features and resources, all in one convenient place.
It appears that there are so many different platforms to choose from. How can our listeners find one that's right for them?
Well, it's a good idea to think about your specific needs and goals. What aspects of English do you want to focus on? Do you want to improve your pronunciation, expand your vocabulary, master grammar?
Once you have a clear idea of what you're looking for, you can start exploring different platforms and see which ones offer the features and content that align with your goals.
And many platforms offer free trials or introductory memberships, so you can try them out before committing.
That's a great tip. It's like test driving a car before you buy it.
Exactly. You want to make sure the platform is a good fit for your learning style and preferences.
Some platforms are more structured and lesson-based, while others are more immersive and game-like.
There are platforms that focus on specific accents or dialects, while others offer a more general approach to English learning.
The options are endless. It's a language learner's paradise.
Absolutely. Now let's move on to another fantastic resource that leverages the power of technology language exchange apps.
These apps connect you with native English speakers who are learning your native language.
Yeah.
It's like a virtual language exchange program.
Exactly. It's a brilliant way to get real-life speaking practice with a native speaker and help each other along the way.
It appears that these apps provide a fun and interactive way to connect with people from different cultures and learn about their language and way of life.
You can chat via text, voice, or video call, and many apps even offer features like language games and flashcards to help you expand your vocabulary.
It's like having a language partner in your pocket.
And the best part is it's often free or very affordable.
Okay, let's move on to a resource that's readily available to everyone: English language media.
This includes movies, TV shows, music books, podcasts, and so much more. It's an incredible treasure trove of language learning material.
It appears that we can learn so much simply by immersing ourselves in English language entertainment.
Absolutely. Think about it. When you watch a movie, you're not only hearing the language, but you're also seeing the actors' facial expressions and body language. You're absorbing the culture and context in which the language is used.
And when you listen to music, you're picking up on the rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation of English.
Reading books and articles exposes you to new vocabulary, grammar structures, and different writing styles.
And podcasts like this one provide an excellent way to improve your listening comprehension and learn about a wide range of topics.
The beauty of using English language media is that it doesn't feel like studying. It's enjoyable and entertaining.
So turn your leisure time into language learning opportunities. Watch your favorite shows with English subtitles. Listen to English music in the background. Read a book in English before bed.
The key is to make it a part of your daily routine.
Now let's talk about a resource that can provide more personalized guidance and support language tutors.
Hiring a tutor can be a fantastic investment if you're serious about improving your English speaking skills. They can offer one-on-one instruction tailored to your specific needs and goals.
A tutor can help you identify your strengths and weaknesses, work on areas where you need improvement, and provide valuable feedback on your pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary.
They can also create customized lesson plans, role-play different conversation scenarios, and help you build confidence in your speaking abilities.
Having a tutor is like having a personal language coach cheering you on every step of the way.
And with the rise of online tutoring platforms, finding a qualified and experienced tutor has become easier than ever.
So we've explored a wide range of resources and tools that can help you on your English-speaking journey, from online platforms and language exchange apps to English language media and language tutors.
Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to language learning.
Experiment with different resources. Find what works best for you and create a learning plan that fits your lifestyle and preferences.
And most importantly, have fun. Learning a new language should be an enjoyable and rewarding experience.
We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring, and we encourage you to take action today.
Choose one step one, resource one activity, and get started on your English speaking journey.
Remember, every small step you take brings you closer to fluency.
Thank you for joining us on Listen to English podcast. We're so glad you're here with us.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep speaking English.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel grow and reach more English learners like you. By subscribing, you'll never miss a new episode, and by liking the video, you're letting us know you want more helpful content. Thank you for your support. It means so much to us.